Hey everyone, it's time for your full moon reading, and this Wednesday we have ourselves a super rare treat from the universe. So at 7:14 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon will officially begin her full moon lunation phase, which is a super flower blood moon. Yeah, you heard that right. It's a super flower blood moon. And at 7:19 a.m., an intensely transformational and wild lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. So this extremely rare lunar event brings with it clairvoyant visions and playful energies of duality, which urges us into a metamorphic, soul-searching journey beyond our wildest dreams. So let's take a deeper examination into the mystical, cosmic event that is on our horizon. This full moon is called the flower moon because of the abundance of blooming flowers this time of year. Mother Nature and the cosmic energies are charging our world with abundant energies of transformation, growth, and blossoming. Not only is this obvious and you can see everywhere, externally out in nature and in our gardens, but it's also internally experienced and palpable within the frequencies of our own being. The transformation process of breaking out of our current perceptions and limitations to celebrate life in all of our unique beauty, much like Mother Nature's alluring flowers, is not always an easy process and can require a lot of energy. There is often a lot of physical, mental, and emotional shifts that must occur and can sometimes be quite uncomfortable at times. But if I have learned one thing about the transformation process, it's the uncomfortableness is temporary, and it also forges us into being the divine beings that we are designed to be. And so for this full moon reading, I wanted to invite some of the wild lantana that is in my yard, my front yard, and it's very interesting. It's a very beautiful flower. It has multicolors. I don't know if you're seeing it very well, but it doesn't always look like this. If you're familiar with lantana, it starts out as these dark blue, like midnight blue balls, and through a process, they change their color from the dark blue into the green. And from that kind of unified spherical shape of the green balls, they transform their shape. Let me see if I can show you. It's starting to wilt here, but it transforms its shape into a blossom, and these blossoms then transform into these flowers that you see right here. So lantana is a great example of the transformation that we see all around us in nature. It not only changes its shape, but it also changes its color, it changes its texture, it changes its expression, it changes everything about itself through such a dramatic change from a blue sphere to a multicolored bunch of flowers, which I think is just so fascinating. So this energy is palpable. It's all around us, and this full moon is bringing us more of this energy. This lunation is also a supermoon, which means the moon is close to pedigree, which means that it's at its closest point to planet Earth. And this also means that the energies are going to be much more intense. The moon is physically so close to us, and it's also a blood moon, meaning that there's a deeply transformational lunar eclipse, also amplifying this lunation's energies. So we got a lot going on here. Now, a lunar eclipse is when the moon passes through the Earth's shadow. Now, when the moon passes through the Earth's shadow, this is indicative of the shadow work that we're being called to do. And when the moon passes through the Earth's shadow, it changes the color of the full moon. Typically, the full moon comes in a white or yellow color and brightens up the night sky. Well, this full moon, because it passes through the Earth's shadow, will be a dark red, rusty color. And so for me, this is this is an instance where the universe is showing us that we need to take a look into our shadow side, self, our dark side, the parts of ourselves that may be difficult to look at or that we don't want to look at. And this is necessary and essential for becoming our full lunation, our full self, and blooming into our full being and upgrading our DNA. So, and if you think about it, the moon represents who we are in our core. It's our inner self, our emotional self. We all know our sun sign. It's our outer expression. It's how we present ourselves outwardly into the world. But as we learned a few months ago when we all discovered our moon signs, our moon sign is who we are inwardly, and we don't always necessarily show that to the world. And so when our inner self is being forced to look at the shadow, we're being asked to do our shadow work. And this can be very healing and very transformational. So the nodal axis of the full moon is illuminated by Gemini and Sagittarius. So what that means is the sun is in Gemini right now, and the moon is in Sagittarius, and the focus is on the south node with the moon being in Sagittarius. And this is a call to refine and reevaluate our beliefs about ourselves and the world at large. We're being asked to broaden our perspective to allow for freer expressions of self. This also means for others who may hold differing beliefs from our own, to keep those beliefs to themselves, allowing this freedom of expression to fully bloom. So on a cosmic level, this is upgrading our very DNA and how we see ourselves and how we perceive and navigate through our world. And this is expanding our knowing of our divine place in the world. During this lunation, the moon is also conjuncting with Uranus, or Uranus, however you say that. It's a funny word. But the moon is conjuncting with Uranus in Sagittarius. And this allows us to see the bigger picture and to recognize patterns that go beyond ourself and our generation. Typically, when we get a planetary influence from Uranus, this is the type of influence that spans generations. So this is a multi-generational influence, allowing us to see the bigger picture that goes beyond ourselves and our generations and what we collectively think. So we're going to be getting access to a greater consciousness, a greater perspective. We're also being called to give birth to a more authentic version of ourselves and a vision for our life purpose. This cosmic lunation brings with it some powerful paradigm shifts in beliefs, in worldview, and beliefs about ourselves. This is the universe's loud and clear call to break free from our current state of being and to bloom and blossom, granting ourselves greater access to all the gifts available to us that's already woven within our DNA. And this is a truly spectacular lunar event that says it all within the name, the super flower blood moon. So the moon is in goes into Sagittarius on Tuesday, and Sagittarius rules the hips, thighs, and the sciatic nerve. The hips tend to store the emotional tension of our being. So if you're feeling some tightness or uncomfortableness in your hips, thighs, or back, try and release that tension by releasing some of that emotional tension, those stories that we keep running through our being, our mental body, and adding some hip opening yoga poses and stretches to our daily routine. Now, the top 5 questions to ponder during a Sagittarius full moon is, have I been letting myself down by allowing myself to get distracted and bored with life? Have I been overconfident, preachy, or arrogant? Have I been seeing the bigger picture? Have I been inviting enough adventure into my life? And have I found the balance between speaking my mind and saying too much? All wonderful questions to think about while the moon is in Sagittarius. And while connecting with the moon to get the affirmation for this moon, I was blown away because the affirmation is beautiful, and then the full moon oracle reading goes right along with the affirmation. So I love when that happens. So the affirmation is, I stand in my cosmic divinity and answer the calls of my true self and my true nature. I'll say that again. I stand in my cosmic divinity and answer the calls of my true self and true nature. And the full moon oracle reading that I got from the Moonology oracle cards is, show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. How perfect is that? So obviously the message is quite clear. It's loud and clear. Show the world the real you. But what this card also suggests is to detach yourself from the confines of who you think you are and what you think your purpose is, and allow the universe to show you the way by allowing your path to divinely unfold for you. That's something that I work on a lot, because I always feel like I have an idea of the way things should unfold. And, for example, selling my house and getting this new house, I had no idea it was going to land in Florida. But now that I'm here in Florida, I couldn't imagine it any better. So sometimes we have to allow the path to unfold for us, and we may not know how it's going to unfold, but to allow it to unfold. And so that's one of the things that this card suggests. Another thing is, if you've been holding back from showing the world the real you, this card is here to remind you of your unique characteristics that make you special. Now, these characteristics not only make you special, but it's also what the world needs. This card reminds us to be aware of our feelings and to move on and heal the wounds that are still hurting us, so that we can allow ourselves to grow and fully blossom into our full lunation of who we are. So this is a reminder to let go of the past and to let go of who we think we are and what we think we need to do, and to allow the process to divinely unfold for us and to connect more deeply with who we are and what our purpose is. This card also suggests that this card also suggests to remember the beauty and romance of life. Get out of your head and get into your heart. Embrace the unknown and get to know yourself and to expect the unexpected. So I hope you guys enjoyed this full moon reading. It was a little bit longer, and I had a lot to share with this full moon. There was lots of inspiration. There was lots that needed to be shared. There was lots that wanted to be shared. And I hope you guys enjoyed it all. And I hope you guys have beautiful rituals and ceremonies for this full moon. On the East Coast, it happens in the morning. I personally will be doing my full moon ceremonies in the evening. There's just something magical about doing it at nighttime with the moon full and bright in the sky. And so no matter when you do your full moon rituals, I hope you guys have a beautiful transformational experience, and I can't wait to hear about all of the things that are going on in your life, all of the transformations you're experiencing, and all of the beauty that is surrounding you. I wish you guys all the best, lots of love, peace, and happiness, and until the next moon phase, bye guys.